This video pissed me off more than anything today. And I'm getting kind of tired of it because it's literally like the real devil is winning for real, because we're not taking a stand. We're not operating in our higher selves, and we're just letting all the bullshit run the fuck rampant. I'm getting mad. There should be no reason why there are books that talk about sex positions, dildos, child pedophilia, and all of that stuff in fucking kids' books in school. And it's crazy because if you really dig deep, the reason why they're doing this is because they want to fuck your children. Yes, there's an agenda. Oh, see, ladies and gentlemen, there's many agendas here. You have no idea how many agendas they have to keep us in our lower chakra. The music industry is one of them, but y'all not ready for that conversation yet, and I just might make that video next because somebody out there is out there listening thinks a little deeper. And I'm speaking to you because we got to do something to make a change. Because if we keep letting this shit happening, what the plan is, they're trying to fucking make pedophilia the norm. Remember back in the day, being gay, you know what I'm saying, was looked differently than it is today. That is a fact. Now it's normal to be gay. You know what I'm saying? Now they move the goalposts. Now it's the trans. Now it's normal to be trans. The real goalpost that they're trying to achieve is making fucking kids normal. That's what, oh my God, like you have no idea. Like look into Epstein's Island. Like all of these elites that we worship, they fuck children, guys. Dead ass. It gets so deep. Oh my God. I just don't understand. Yeah, I really don't get it. And it's like, it makes me so angry. It just makes me, I want to cry. Listen, there's even a TED Talk, and I watch TED Talks frequently. There's even a TED Talk about, in school, they sent out pamphlets to the kids to, oh, wait till I show this shit. Talking about, if somebody's a pedophile, you can't call them pedophile. You got to call them minor attracted persons now. That's their new thing.
Don't judge people for wanting to have sex with 5-year-olds and asking them, apparently, to call pedophiles minor attracted persons.
Stop calling them that. You're not allowed to label people like that.
What?
Stop it, Diego.
Yeah, no,
we're not going to call them that. We're going to call them MAPs, minor attracted persons. No. So don't judge people just because they want to have sex with a 5-year-old.
Okay, so
you can't call them pedophiles. You got to call them minor attracted persons. And they're trying to justify saying they were fucking born that way. They're trying to make fucking kids normal. And I'm so sorry for my language in this video. It's just that I'm real angry. So that's why they're putting all of these nasty books in the goddamn schools to get your kids thinking about sex at the age of 7, at the age of 6. Now, I want to play this video, and I'm going to come back on my thoughts.
Print the book, publish the book, put the book in the public library, sell the book, right? We're talking about a public school library. Mm-hmm. Children don't have unfettered access to the internet at school. Mm-hmm. I did a FOIA records request, and I wanted to see what kinds of internet sites are banned in schools, if we're going to talk about banning, right? Mm-hmm. And the subject matter in the books that moms are concerned about are the same things that kids don't have access to on the internet. So it just feels very hypocritical, right? No, why is no one out there protesting for, free the internet in schools?
Let me give you an example of some of the books that have been removed from shelves as a result of the activities of organizations like Moms for Liberty.
We're not going to talk like Moms for Liberty. We're going to talk specifically Moms for Liberty.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy to have this conversation with you, Joy.
Absolutely.
But we're going to be specific about the actions of Moms for Liberty chapters.
Oh, 100%.
Because I can't be possibly responsible for every single parent
But
in America,
your
right?
organization is the lead. You're the leading organization that's doing this. You have chapters all over the country, and other organizations are following your lead. And Penn America has listed, they have posted the list of books that have been removed from shelves as a result of these activities. Let me just read you a couple of them. Anne Frank's A Diary of a Young Girl. Mouse, which is a book about the Holocaust, a graphic novel. Genderqueer, a memoir. All Boys Aren't Blue. Beloved, Martin Luther King Jr. and the March on Washington. Ruby Bridges Goes to School. Slaughterhouse-Five, The Color Purple, Forever by Judy Blume. I could go on. These are books that are not only popular, in some cases are classics. Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. Let me give you an example.
Well, I'd like to answer your question.
Please do. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just mentioned a list of books. And so Moms for Liberty doesn't have like a national book list. There was never a list of books that we put out and said, parents, be concerned about these books, right? We didn't do it because we want our parents to be effective advocates. So when moms are going into the libraries and the schools, when they're seeing what their children have access to, when they go to speak to the superintendent or the principal, they have accurate information, right? They're
and where are they getting
advocates.
their information from?
You can just go online to a catalog in your children's library, and you can see what
without
books are
reading
available.
the books. What is what is? One moment. What is booklooks.com?
I'm aware of a website called booklooks.com where parents can go and see some of the books that other parents are concerned about.
Booklooks.com has been used in Florida extensively in counties like, I used to live in Broward County. I lived there for 14 years.
Okay.
In counties like Broward, counties like Clay, counties like Escambia, Moms for Liberty activists are using booklooks.com. And it's essentially a cliff notes for books.
Yeah.
So you go through without even having to read the book. I'm going to just hold it up so our audience can see what it looks like. This is the one for All Boys Aren't Blue, which is one of the books Moms for Liberty has pushed
Everyone
to have
should
removed.
go and see the content in this book. That's such a good idea.
And so what
Joy.
happens is you can do keyword searches and find certain keywords.
Like rape.
You can find
or anal rape or dildo.
You can find all sorts
those types
of keywords.
of words. But like,
wait, hold on. Wait. Let me finish my question.
Okay,
Then
great,
you can answer.
sure.
I'm going to give you time to answer, but I got to ask you first.
No, yeah, I got the question.
And so what you find is the keywords that you find, the N word, anything, words like you just used, then you'll get out of context passages from the book. And then based on that, Moms for Liberty members are going to places like Broward County School Board meetings, reading out of context passages from these books, and then demanding that the school board remove them.
So what's
that is the way.
Yeah.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for
do.
you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No.
Wait,
We're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Hold on. Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You
the
just
name
remembered
of the author
very
doesn't.
specific names.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about
Here's my
strap.
question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer your
Great.
question.
I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay,
great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school. I mean, come on, let's get real.
This book is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask you one more time.
Right.
What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof
rape
of that
in
is
some way.
what?
You just said that
What's
if
your
a child
proof of
feels
that?
seen by this story. What I'm saying, Joy,
you're now making assumptions about it.
Joy, but if a child has been raped, we should do a lot better than put a book on a library
Now you're literally
shelf.
creating a story behind a child that you don't know. Let me show you a form. This is a form that can be obtained in Broward County, Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to show it to the audience, and then I'm going to show it to you. Okay. This is called the opt. Yeah, please. I'm going to hand it to you.
Thank you so much.
It's called the opt-out form.
Okay.
An opt-out form would allow any parent, because you said you are in favor of parental rights.
I am.
It would allow any parent to opt out of their child being able to take books out of the library without their parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue,
right,
that they can make that choice, because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a black parent, a parent who wants their child to read a book about African-American history, then they get their
rights. We want children to read books about
Why not just
African-American
opt
history,
out for yourself rather than tell other parents what they can and cannot?
First of all, I think what you're talking about here is a wonderful step in the right direction. We should be having conversations about this. This is about local control. Mm-hmm. A lot of these decisions are made at the local school board level. Mm-hmm. And that's where these decisions should be made. And there should be vibrant conversations about what's happening in our public schools and what kids have access to. Joy, however, maybe we could just put all the books with all the graphic sexual content, the dildos, the rape, the incest.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Let's do a back room.
Excuse me.
Let's put a curtain up in the library like they used to do.
One moment.
Remember when we were little and you would go to the video store?
The books that Moms for
and they
Liberty.
put those
The books that Moms for Liberty.
With pornography.
I know that you. I've seen.
We could just do that in the public library.
I have seen tapes of what Moms for Liberty does, and you all go into school board meetings and you read graphic stuff.
Disingenuous conversation.
No, it's not.
There's America used to understand that.
Here's my whole take on it, right? I personally feel that this is going to be a tough one. Because at the end of the day, I don't want my children to subscribe at such a young age to, because clearly, like, for example, there's PG-13 movies, right? That means the content for individuals under the age of 13 should not be seeing this. It may not be appropriate for somebody under 13. So I feel like, why is that not happening? Why are books like this in elementary schools? I really need to know this. Because when I was in elementary school, the quote-unquote worst book that was They Caged the Animals at Night. That was in second grade we read that book. It's actually my favorite book in the entire world. And I have a copy to this day. That's so interesting. But anyway, it's about a kid who goes into foster care and he gets beaten by his foster parents and stuff like that. That's why, I think, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if I want to have my own children, but I honestly think I want to dedicate myself to the foster children, because these kids, oh my God, because think about it, they've been taken away, right? So they're in the worst conditions. You understand what I'm saying? So I just want to buy a big ass house with bouncy houses and get everything, a game room, whatever, and they just live their best lives for real. But anywho, so my whole thing is things should be age appropriate. You understand what I'm saying? So no, I don't think that book should be in a junior high school or elementary school as the book is now, but maybe we can talk about that book being in high school. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I feel like, and this is not even my feelings, this is facts. Now, I can't speak for anybody else because, as y'all know, I'm a black woman. So when I do look up statistics, I always look up statistics more or less for the African diaspora. So in America, black boys, only 90% of them, let me rewind that. Black boys, only 10% of them can read at an 8th grade level. You could Google this. I'm going to put some up anyway, just in case y'all don't believe me. So at the end of the day, I feel like they need to focus more on the kids' ability to read, because clearly these kids can't read. You know how many little kids I know for real can't read to their grade level? So it's like in America, they're worried about the wrong things. But like I said, it's because there's a legit agenda. They're trying to make, matter of fact, I'm gonna insert the TED Talk in here. Oh my God, just listen to this. I'm gonna put a little snippet. I wish I watched the whole thing and put a dislike, because you were not born a fucking pedophile. That's no.
Jonas has a secret which he thinks he cannot share with anyone, not even with his best friend or with his parents. He's just too afraid of anger, rejection, and repulsion. Jonas knows that he has to suppress his sexual drive for his entire life. And he also knows that there will never be a loving and fulfilling partnership that he can enter. Because Jonas is a pedophile. He's only attracted to female children between the ages of 6 and 12 years. But since he's aware of the consequences for the children, he has never given in to his sexual drive. What is pedophilia? And what is it not? In the ICD-10, the International Classification System for Illnesses, pedophilia is coded as the sexual preference for pre-adolescent children. It is listed under the sexual disorders. Whether the persistent occurrence of sexual thoughts and feelings for pre-adolescent children have been acted upon or not is not relevant to the diagnosis. Like every other sexual orientation, pedophilia can have different characteristics. For example, it can be heterosexual, it can be homosexual, bisexual. Some pedophiles are exclusively attracted to children. Others are not exclusively attracted to children, but they're also sexually interested in adults. But their main sexual interest lies within children. Only if this main sexual interest is given, we talk about pedophilia. The vast majority of all pedophiles are men, about 99%. Within the male population, 1 to 2% are considered to be pedophiles. This translates to about 60 million people worldwide. This is as much as the population of Italy or of South Africa. Therefore, pedophilia is not an irrelevant phenomenon we can't simply ignore. Chances every one of you knows at least one pedophile are higher than that you don't know anyone.
This shit goes deep. So like, for example, I'm gonna make a whole video on this separately, but when it comes to trans women, right? When you hear their deep stories, because I listen to some of their stories on YouTube, and it's so sad. This one trans that I really was like, she was so genuine. Well, whatever, I don't care, was so genuine. You understand what I'm saying? But the reason why he's trans is because he said it. You know, he was talking about how he was growing up. He thought his brother was his boyfriend. So pretty much his older brother will rape him and stuff like that and blah, 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 blah. You know, so all throughout his childhood. So because of that, he thought his brother was his boyfriend. So, and that messes up your psychology. You understand what I'm saying? Your psyche gets twisted. You understand what I'm saying? Because if that's your identity growing up, and then he even said as an adult man, he was like 30, he was like, I still feel the same way about my brother, whatever, you know. So anyways, the book that they're talking about is it's called All Boys Are Not Blue. And the reason why his sexuality is the way it is because he was anally raped by a family member at a really young age. Y'all have to remember, think about it. All things we've been through affect us. Think about the woman who, you know what I'm saying, like, keeps getting, like, ain't shit nigga in a sense or whatever. Now her mind is twisted, like, okay, I guess all dudes ain't ish now, right? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like your whole reality changes. You understand what I'm saying? When something like that's like rape, oh my God. I don't even want to talk about that, but that changes you forever. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, and he was raped by a male family member at a young age. It's the same way R. Kelly is the way he is, why he's crazy when it comes to sexuality like that. Because he was raped by a family member at a young age. And so was his brother. Y'all not getting to the root of these issues. We need healing. That's why I'm so happy I made this channel, because this channel, we're going to heal. We're going to heal. We're going to love. We're going to spread love and kindness. We're going to make a change, because the devil's not winning this one. Not while I'm on this earth. It's not going down. But anyways, let me get off this. It was definitely a pleasure talking to y'all. You know, this video, I had to get out there because it was just too much on my heart. This video is getting too long. Please stay tuned for more. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Spread love. Don't forget to heal. We all have trauma that we need to heal from, okay? And the time is now. Because when you heal from your wounds and your childhood wounds, you're able to be a better person. And when your cup is full, oh baby, the overflow is. But yes, so y'all have an absolutely fantastic day. And don't forget to spread love and kindness. Namaste.